Okay, so I'm recording. All right, so I'm gonna try this one more time, doing another test video at 10 millimeters of focal length for Canon APS-C. And in the previous video, I noticed that it's difficult to read the road signs, and I don't think it's distortion from the lens. Instead, I think it's just the camera angle. So I'm trying a different angle. The last video, the camera relative to the plane of the car, it was pointing up and to the left. And this time I have it at a lower altitude angle. Well, actually, I might be able to elevate this just a little bit. Keep it flat. Okay, so I'm going to put this down and then put this up. I'm going to turn this. Oh, poor guy. He's probably wondering why I'm filming him. Okay, so I can't go any higher without hitting the windshield. So that's it for height. And then we're going to point this up a bit. Okay, so the only difference here, it's still pointing up a little bit. And I got more of the dash in the field of view now. I think that's about straight. Okay. So, I'm going to see if this makes an improvement or not. I don't think I'd really be able to tell unless I get on the interstate. So basically, the camera is pointing straight forward and slightly up, instead of up and to the left. So I think it was because it was pointing to the left is why. Okay, so you're wondering where I am. I'm at the Shoe Department Encore family shoe store. And they have excellent return policy. If you need plus size shoes, this is the place to get them. You can order from their website, try them on at home. If they don't fit, whatever, you don't like them, just bring them back to the store. That's the only way to return them for free. I have to bring them back to the store. This is my first week fully vaccinated. So, I was finally able to bring them back. So, yeah, I ordered the New Balance, Fila, and Asics, and decided to keep the New Balance and return the other ones. So that's really nice return policy. You can order whatever you want, try them on at home, and bring back the ones. You know, it's like trying on shoes in the shoe store, except you don't have to come in other than to return them. So, and they have, you know, more sizes in the website, obviously, than in the store. Okay, so where am I going? That's where I am. Where am I going? I am going to the middle of nowhere. I'm scouting out a possible location for the solar eclipse that was recommended to me by another member of the Cumberland Astronomy Club. Might take about 20 minutes to get there, so be close to the 30-minute limit. And I dropped the frame rate down to 30 FPS, while I typically record at 60 FPS. But at night, I prefer to record at 25 FPS, or just general low light settings, so you get slightly more exposure at 1/25th of a second than at 1/30th of a second. But 30 frames, you should always film at either 30 or 60, and only use 25 if it's absolutely necessary. You should avoid 25 because 25 isn't divisible by 60. So if you're watching the video on a 60 frame per second, you're watching 25 FPS video on a 60 FPS monitor, you know, it works, but it doesn't work as well than if you're just watching 30 FPS on a 60 FPS monitor. because it's not an even number of frames per frame or whatever. It's just more complicated. It's more work for the computer. And like I said, I've never really had any problems, but it's something to avoid if you can. Yeah, so mainly I'm just using 30 FPS right now just to save file storage, because I'm just doing a test video. So, and like I said, I can't really watch the video while driving, obviously, so I'll have to check it when I pull over, but it's difficult to watch it on the camera. I still haven't figured out how to fast forward videos. So, yes, that means I actually have to waste the battery. And I forgot to turn down the monitor brightness. I had it set to, so if you're wondering what settings I'm using fully automatic settings with the exception of manual focusing. So everything's automatic except for the focus. I manually focus the lens because the depth of field is large, but I should get better results with manual focus. So it doesn't try to focus on anything on the windshield or anything like that. And that's why I was parked in the parking lot. Anything that's more than about a car length, at 10 millimeters, f4.5, anything that's more than about one car length, if you focus anything more than about one or two car lengths in front of the car,
in a quarter mile, turn right.
You'll be at the hyperfocal distance. That's the term I missed in the last video. It's called the hyperfocal distance, the distance at which you get infinite depth of field. Now that's a fancy car. I don't know if you saw that on the video. A red sports car. Wow. Okay, so I'm going straight. And like I said, I'm going to the middle of nowhere, so I actually can't use the normal GPS device. I'm using my phone for directions because there's no address. I'm actually going to a specific set of GPS. Wow, that's bumpy. To a specific set of GPS coordinates. Turn right. Yeah. Because once you're, most places have addresses, but if you're just going to a random spot out in the middle of nowhere, you actually have to use GPS coordinates. And because you're driving to a particular point on the surface of the planet and not to any place that has an address. So, that's always fun. I've only done this. I don't think I've actually ever done this before. So hopefully it works. So I don't think I've ever actually used the Google Maps feature to get directions to a set of coordinates instead of an address. Pretty sure I haven't. So it's a good experiment to see if it works. And like I say, my regular GPS unit gives bad directions. So I either need to try to update it. I'm not sure if that's going to fix the problem. It's very old. Or I'd have to replace it, or just use my phone instead. And so you can download the maps. But I think I forgot to download them because they expire after like 90 days, I think. So I don't think I've updated it since like last year. So we're going to have to download the maps again from traveling for the solar eclipse. You can only download so many maps, I think. So otherwise you have to use your mobile data for mapping. But it's still pretty small. I think like all of Western Maryland is like less than half a gigabyte. So I get like 6 to 12 gigabytes per month. So it's not too bad. As long as you're not using the phone for anything else, really. So this is Bel Air. It's one of my favorite spots. Bel Air Park, next to Bel Air Elementary School, because they have a great view up there. It's like almost like an overlook. But facing northeast, there's too many trees, so it doesn't work for the eclipse.
In a quarter mile, turn left.
And I gotta hook the phone up to the Bluetooth so I can hear the directions on the Bluetooth audio instead of the speakerphone. So I gotta do that.
Turn left.
Where? Where? Guess so. Nowhere else to turn. Okay, this looks vaguely familiar. I think I've been down here once. ATK is near here. Forgot what it stands for. They build all kinds of stuff. I went down there once. I remember, like, it's like tank shells, jet fighter frames, stuff like that, missiles. It's military industrial complex. Nice view. So you can't see the views to the sides. And we're now entering West Virginia. So I think we just crossed the Potomac River. So now in a whole different state. I haven't been out of state since the pandemic began. We're here, Rocket Center, West Virginia, Northrop Grumman. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. So they build, I think it's like missiles, jet fighters, stuff like that. Employees only. Yeah, it's like they have classified, obviously military industrial. They do some classified work up there. So say in order to get, I got a tour. I was lucky enough to get a tour. It was provided by the Frostburg State University. But you still have to get background checks before you can go inside. So any kind of secure facility, they require background checks usually. So that's good to know. I can pass a background check. So I'm no terrorist. Oh, squirrel! I'm a good person. I break for squirrels. Why isn't the squirrel moving? Photo op? Photo? Okay. We got it. There's a car behind me, so I break for squirrels. So I'm a good person. Yeah. So that'd be evil. Like I said, if you ran over the squirrel, no, don't do that. Break the squirrel. If the squirrel doesn't move, because it's probably just scared, but honk the horn a little bit, and they'll get the idea. Get out of the way. I've seen. I think they're just scared because, like the deer, when I was at Deep Creek State Park, the deer just stood there for like forever. It wasn't moving at all. It wasn't in the middle of the road though. It was like off to the side of the road. But still, I was just standing there like still for a long time. I got lots of photos. I didn't want to risk trying to get the DSLR camera out, so I just took it with my phone. And that's the thing, if the DSLR camera is set up, on the tripod filming the video, then I can't snap photos with it out the window. So if I see something interesting, I have to use my phone.
a quarter mile, turn right.
So the car behind me probably couldn't see the squirrel, so they're wondering why are they stopped in the middle of the road, honking their horn. So
Turn right.
okay, whatever you say. I hope I'm allowed to drive up here. It says stay on Wexler Road. I'm guessing this is Wexler Road. I don't know. Looks like a public road. Alright. Yeah, don't litter. Littering's bad. Yeah, so I was saying, you know, I consider myself to be a patriotic American. I'm not one of those people who hates their country. So, you know, like I said, there's lots of things that are wrong with the country. But I still think, you know, American democracy is one of the better forms of government. You know, it's not perfect. No government's perfect. But still. It's like, I think it was Winston Churchill who said, democracy is not the best form of government. It's just better than the alternatives. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. You know, it's not maybe, you know, it may not be the best country, may not be the best form of government, but you know, it's better than the alternatives. You know, there's other countries that have better healthcare, better schools. But you know, that's the thing about living in a democracy is that, you know, if you don't like the way things are being run, you know, you have elected representatives you can write to, and, you know, freedom of speech and all those nice things. So here's your Trump poster. I don't know why that's on a public road or how they allow that. You know, he's out of office now. Get over it, but yeah. But yeah, I can pass the background check to get into classified military installations, no problem. So that's good. So I have no idea where I'm going. I'm just going where the computer tells me to. I remember the first time I got my first GPS, I got it for a trip to New York City. And I was on, you know, I don't know names of all the bridges. Oh goodness, I hope I'm going the right way. Very scenic though. Should stop and there's no traffic, so I should stop and try to snap a photo out of the window. I kind of passed it already though. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was driving over one of the bridges in New York City. And when you're on the middle of the bridge over the river, it says, take a right-hand turn off the bridge into the river. It's like, you know, you see it on like the comedy shows. They always joke about, oh no, there was a squirrel or a stick. Like you see it on the comedy shows. They always joke about it. Like the GPS told me to drive into a lake, but it actually happens. That's the scary part. You have to use your wits. You know, if you have common sense, you know, if the computer tells you to drive off a bridge, don't. Just common sense, you know. That actually happened to me. And I later found out why, though, if you're curious. I don't know if the newer units still do this. Because I haven't been back to New York City, so I wouldn't know. But I think it was because I just came out of a tunnel, and when it loses the GPS signal in a tunnel, it gets confused, and that's why it gives the bad directions when you get out of the tunnel. So if you go from a tunnel to a bridge, it might tell you to jump off a bridge, because it gets confused. That was like wow, okay. Okay, there's no traffic. So I'm gonna do this. I can't pass this. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna see if you can see what I'm seeing. Oh no, the angles are all bad. Okay, whatever. I lost my angle again. I shouldn't touch this while I'm in the car. Okay, let's just go. Snap one more photo. There's no cars. Okay. Okay. I can't pass that. It's too bad you can't see it. See, I touch this thing. How's your angles? Looks fine. Okay. 21 minutes. So, in case you're wondering what the hell's going on, wow! Just a spectacular view. Oh my god. I gotta take another photo. And this is like the amazing. The lighting's perfect. So hold on. There's like zero traffic, so. Okay. Wow. So let's say like the 10mm lens doesn't get out the sides. I was gonna get the 6mm lens with the 180-degree fisheye view, but that would be like really bad because you wouldn't be able to read the road signs or anything. It has like really bad geometric distortions. It's like, who lives here? These houses? So you turn off the air conditioner, turn down the windows. Here's a car. So it's like, where the hell am I going? But this is just amazing. I should just like park and like walk this. Okay. It's called Lookout Drive. Private property that way. Best remaining view on the mountain. What does that sign say? 2 acres. But wow. Get another photo here. That's why I can't use. Okay. No cars. That's good. Okay, well it says I'm 3 minutes away. Okay. Because this might be a decent spot. I'm pretty sure it's private property on both sides. Because there's not really any place to park or pull over. There's no side lane or whatever. Yeah, private road, no through traffic, so on. I don't know how much of this you can see on the video. And I don't think I can just rotate the camera left. I'm just gonna keep stopping and snapping photos. I can't help myself. This is just amazing. Okay. Been saying if this is the spot, they say someone in the astronomy club recommended these coordinates to me, but I don't think it's going to work out if I don't have any place to pull the car over. even with no traffic, I can't just park on the. There's no place to pull over here. I missed that one. Okay, it says 1.4 miles. On the way back, if I take the same road, I'll see if I can point the camera right out of the passenger window so you can try to see some of these views. It's just, wow, it's indescribable. I think it's just the lighting because it's getting close to sunset, so it's like that golden hour, I think is the technical term. So the sun is to the right of me, which means if the sun, okay, I'm all turned around. If the sun is setting in the west, then that's facing east. That sounds about right. So I'm actually driving south then. Or north? No, I'm driving north. Yeah, if the setting sun is to the right, nope, I'm going south. Right? No. I don't know. I can't do geometry problems in my head while driving. Okay, 0.6 miles. I think that's coming up here. There's power lines. I don't know if you can see them. Red bird, bright red bird. There's power lines. I think that's the spot they wanted me to check out. Because the power line, if they're going northeast, southwest, then that should be in the right direction of the eclipse.
In a quarter mile, your destination will be on the left.
I don't even know how they found this spot. Maybe on Google? Still amazing views. Wow. Tree down. But there's not really any place to pull over. That could be off the road and still allow traffic through. I think this is the spot.
Your destination is on the left.
Yep, it is. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get under these power lines, which I know is really healthy, and tried to do a U-turn. Or nope. That's not gonna happen. Okay, so we're just gonna do like a many point turn. So I don't have to end up in the ditch, because that would be bad. Or run into a fence here. Or get stuck. And hopefully no traffic comes over the hill. Okay. Okay. So the setting sun's to my left now. And